Right. What's up? Hello. Welcome back to Sparks Conversation. We're on for a quick fire round today, and we are back with my part-time host, Rowan. He is, in fact, in his room as usual. He's just changed the angle. So don't be fooled like I was. Don't be fooled like I was and think that he actually has like a really big mansion that he lives in. And this isn't just one of his one of his many rooms that he has his servants live in.
The different angle that I film on is kind of like a different perspective of what I hope things are going to be after uni.
Exactly, yeah. Multiple rooms, multiple wings. But anyway, we're going to get straight and stuck into it today whilst I pick my calluses. Brilliant. And today's topic of the pod/video is body dysmorphia. And this probably rings a bell with a lot of people. Or it might not ring a bell at all, and you're just thinking, what the hell are these two idiots or slash meatheads? Actually, can we even call you a meathead anymore?
I'm like a failed hybrid, I guess.
don't be so hard. A failed hybrid. Why? Because you can't run.
Pretty much, yeah. Outside of that,
so update on Rowan's transition to being really fit and healthy is you just can't run and can't do anything.
And enters the triathlon, injures himself, can't now run because it keeps flaring up. But I've been a bit weak for the triathlon. Don't think I can do it.
Brilliant. So that was a good start. Should have just stayed with the fake tan and the dodgy trunks. And sold his socks on Instagram. Anyway, because people do buy your socks. It's a legit industry. Body dysmorphia. If you don't know what it is, how would you define it, Rowan? I'll put you on the spot there.
Oh, Christ. It would definitely be a negative kind of self-image, always at least thinking the worst of yourself. And you may compare yourself to others very frequently. You may be the lucky one that only compares yourself to yourself, which I think probably makes it a bit easier, perhaps.
However, I think you're right, and I would agree with you. I think a lot of it comes down to comparing. A lot of it comes down to like a very often a distorted image of what you should look like relative to like a normal human being. And I think, yes, it is good that if you don't compare yourself to others. However, I think for competitors and people who have been in shows, comparing yourself to yourself is even worse because you will always compare yourself to, and I know I struggle with this massively after show, when I was just absolutely bloated. I was just comparing myself to peak week constantly, thinking like, why don't I look one day out? Why don't I look like this all the time?
Yeah.
And that's where I think like it has like this, I think an even more detrimental effect. Because at least when you're comparing yourself to someone else, right, you're working towards trying to improve. When you're like comparing yourself to yourself and just putting yourself down relative to what you used to be, you're just like ripping yourself apart. You're literally just bullying yourself.
I guess they're just trying to argue which one's potentially worse. So
True.
at least I know with my second prep, I found out one of the guys that I was going to be competing against when I was like 6 weeks out. He didn't know who the fuck I was, but constantly being like, every time I was doing cardio, it was that kind of small motivator of getting through it. Yeah. And it was maybe comparing myself to be like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm leaner than him. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like coming out of a show the other end, having that freedom to then eat, seeing yourself put on a bit of fat and then being like, oh shit, I don't look how I used to anymore.
Yeah, and I think like one of the biggest problems with body dysmorphia is it dictates your worth relative to how you look, which feeds very like massively into just like poor self-image and like low self-esteem, and you always feel like you're never content. And I think it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because like bodybuilders always, and physique development kind of guys and girls always want to strive to be better. They're in the gym, they're grinding in quotation marks. You're just lifting
doing the hustle.
You're just lifting up a weight and putting it down. It's not that hard. You're trying to improve all the time, but a lot of the time it can be quite toxic, can't it? And I mean, probably one of the reasons you stepped away from the sport was the severity of it. It was quite toxic, wasn't it?
Well, I was having this conversation with my missus earlier, and
Rowan has a girlfriend, by the way.
okay, yeah, thanks. It is just that endless cycle of bulking and cutting, whereby you obviously are trying to always improve on how you look. So when you're bulking, you try and focus on gym lifts as progression to detract yourself from getting fluffy.
And feeling
And
shit
then when
about
you're
yourself.
cutting, your motivator for that is, oh, I'm getting leaner, I'm looking better, I'm feeling happier. And
Yeah.
it's just that endless cycle of
And you're always
getting
kind
happy
of
because you're dreaded
masking your
and then getting
happiness.
fat.
Yeah, you're always kind of masking the fact that being leaner is the thing that dictates your happiness, which is tricky.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like everyone who's gone on like a big bulk knows, as much as you love progression, no one loves being like that far away from like their normal set point in terms of body fat.
Yeah.
Like it's not comfortable. You don't feel great. And it plays into that body dysmorphia, because then you're like, shit, I can't wait to get back there. And like, I know like after prep, like obviously head was not in a good place. I don't think anyone's head after prep and getting like actually stage lean is in a good place.
No.
And that transition to kind of eat higher calories and do less expenditure was tough. Like was probably like the last thing on my mind. And coming from it at an angle now, I think it has improved. I've just stopped taking progress photos at the moment.
Yeah.
Because every time I look at them, the first thought that comes into my head is negative. Always is something like, why is this shit? Or why hasn't that improved? And then I'm always in this cycle of, right, I need to do something better or do more. And really, like, I just like training. And I've always said, like, training for me is just training, and I enjoy it. And the bodybuilding was kind of something that happened because I've spent so long in the gym. Like, I was just like, there's no real competition. There's not like a triathlon I can do for gym, but that would be bodybuilding show for me, really. So I've moved away from kind of progress photos in a gaining phase. And I do that a lot with clients, because especially as you transition from the cut to the bulk or whatever you're doing, maintenance phase, whatever shit you want to sugarcoat it as, it's a head fuck. Like, and you don't need that. Like, half the battle is like getting food in your mouth. Not as in you're like missing your mouth, but as in getting the calories up and then putting them in your mouth.
Well, especially with bulking as well, you're not only visibly getting uncomfortable with pushing body weight up, gaining excess body fat, you're then physically uncomfortable from the amount of food that you're shoveling in. Like, especially if you're trying to do it as cleanly and least healthily in terms of a varied diet in like macronutrients, micronutrients, etc.
Yeah,
it's not fun eating 4,500-5,000 calories of clean food. Like, you are eating non-stop, and it's very easy to. The easiest example is fiber. If you're not careful, you whack fiber up massively, and that's going to give you a bit of bloating with that fullness. And like, if you're not that comfortable with how you're looking visibly, you then physically feel a bit rough. If you aren't able to kind of rationalize that fully in your head, it's unbelievably difficult.
Yeah,
and that's the thing I've enjoyed the most with kind of, as you said, stepping away, focusing on the triathlon and trying to use performance goals instead, and just eating to fuel the exercise. It definitely has, I think, improved my body dysmorphia slightly.
Would you say like body dysmorphia is like your relationship with your self-image then? Something like that?
Yeah, but probably more so in like a negative connotation.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, so you think it's improved? Yeah, because you've gone to purely, well, performance, apart from running, which is in the gutter. That Achilles has not enjoyed that. Yeah, I agree. And I think like it's a tricky one, because like I definitely, and we've spoken about like the fitness menopause before, and that's not my idea. That's from someone else. But I think as you go through the fitness menopause, hopefully it would start to kind of correct some of that body dysmorphia. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. Like, after if I do this show in 2023, this is exclusive. I'm only going to do it if I've made improvements. I'm not putting myself through that shit again. If I've made improvements, I'll do it. If I haven't made improvements, I won't do it.
I'd be very surprised if you didn't. Not that I'm encouraging you to do it.
Fuck, I'm doing it then. Let's go.
I would imagine even if you prepped now and just did a slower prep, you probably would bring a better package.
Oh, I'll bring a better package.
Not being as depleted,
yeah.
Which would visibly look as if you've
added about 20 kilograms.
Than you may have done.
Yeah, but anyway, that's not the point. Yeah, that's
the example you gave of a bodybuilding show being like the only example of like competition for going to the gym. That's honestly why the more like CrossFit-y stuff does interest me, and the fact that you can enter competitions and it's not just like a triathlon where it's go do cardio. It's actually, can you lift shit? Can you have a gas tank?
And it's somewhat healthier. It is somewhat healthier. It's not just purely feeding that body dysmorphic narrative. Because remember, with bodybuilding as well, like someone else is judging you. So if you've got body dysmorphia anyway, like me, and someone puts you third, it's gonna fucking hurt. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not gonna go down well with my internal brain, wherever that is. So yeah, I think like in terms of like how you can get over it, I've read a bit about it because my dad like supported like some PhD kind of students on it, and the main things like narrative shifts, like changing the narrative, which of course is easier said than done, because internal narratives have taken years to create. They're not just going to overcome in like a couple of days. It'll be like an ongoing process. But I think like in terms of my clientele, it's more about understanding like it really isn't about everything you like, always about how you look. Like, how are you feeling right now? Like, how consistent are you with things? Like, how are you operating as a human? And then just remember that there's times to push and pull with your physique, as in, well, there's always times to push and push, but as in like, there'll be times to be lean and there'll be times to be a little bit fluffier or whatever you want to call it. I even think like fluffy, like the word fluffy, like puts a negative connotation on just being a little bit away from stage lean. Do you know what I mean? Just be normal for a bit. Like, I think with a lot of my guys coming up, because a lot of finish like long-term diets, they are struggling. And that's why we're going away from checking photos every week. Stop them worrying about like my fitness pal religiously. Like there is more to life than my fitness pal, like funny enough. And like calories are going to be there all the time. So just get them in your gob, enjoy it, and don't stop.
One of the other things that we've sort of spoken about before is obviously the use of like goal setting and swapping away from, I'm trying to remember my sports psychology from undergrad, but it's turning more into like process goals rather than kind of like the objective, how I'm looking right now. Is my gym performance improving? Are other metrics, like am I sleeping better? Am I enjoying life in whatever aspect? And trying to focus more on that than what you look like.
Yeah, and I think like that's why there's such a high turnover of like first-time competitors dropouts. Like, and there's no wonder. Like, it is an extreme sport. People go in thinking it'll be a jolly, realize how fucking hard it is, realize halfway through prep that they've committed to something that's tough as fuck, which it is. Like, doesn't matter if you don't like doing it. And then they don't compete again because they just feel like, one, it fucked me up so much. Two, it probably made them feel shit about themselves. And most people are strong enough to say like, oh, I don't want to do this because it like doesn't make me feel good about myself. And really, we just want to do things that make us feel good, don't we? Like eating overnight oats every day, like me. But yeah, I just think like it's interesting because as I was flirting the idea of like, do I want to be judged on how I look again? I was just thinking about how much there's a high turnover of like those first-time competitors. And I know Tom, one of my clients, after he'd done his competing, like he was like, fuck this, like I ain't ever my self-worth being like dictated by some random bloke like that I'm never going to see again, because their comments mean so much. Well, their placings mean so much to you, but to them it means fuck all, doesn't it? Like literally, like
they sit there, turn up, judge how you're looking, and then
get paid. Get paid. Yeah.
Well, I remember my first show, like I dieted for, I don't know, 13, 14 weeks, cardio at silly amounts from the get-go because I was like 21 and I didn't know what I was doing. And I slaved to get on stage, did it, stepped off, and then I was just like a lost puppy. I didn't know what I was doing. Whereas everyone else there just sits there, judges you on how you look. They go off and enjoy the rest of the day. Whereas you now feel shit because you've not placed where you want, your goal has changed, and you just don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? And I think, I don't know if that's it's just a downside of the sport, I guess, if you want to call it a sport. And I think
I think
that's
it's just
why
the thing that you need to be aware of. If you do decide to compete, at least speak to people that have done it before and just be aware of that being the case. And like, can you actually hack it if you're going to do it? And just be wary of what may happen if you think you can, but turns out you can't.
Yeah, and there's a definite difference between like body dysmorphia and like self-improvement. Like, because body dysmorphia is like at detriment to you, and self-improvement is always going to be at the benefit to you. So you've got to bear that in mind. And I think everyone in their teenagers has a bit of like, anyone who goes to the gym in their teens has probably a bit of body dysmorphia. They probably watch, well, our generation watch a bit of YouTube, Ziz, Jeff Syed, all of the big guns, Steve Cook, and you'd be like, fuck, I want to be like this guy. He looks natural. Oh, wait, little did we know.
No.
But then once you soon snap out of it and realize that like you're probably not going to like that forever, the sooner you can just kind of get on and enjoy training and try not to fuel that body dysmorphia. But nonetheless, we're trying to keep it cheery. We're not trying to fucking bring the mood down about physique development, because remember, I still love it. Rowan doesn't, because he likes to try and think he's an athlete now, but it's Achilles thinks otherwise.
I missed the training, but that's probably as much as I miss.
But you still train, right?
Yeah, I dropped it down to only twice a week just to be able to fit in all the other cardio. But with how my ankle's feeling, the future is unknown.
Back to what you're catching me some trunks very, very soon. I don't think Mills would be happy with that. But anyway, right, great to have you back, mate. We'll do this again. I hope you have a good life. I hope your Achilles doesn't snap. If you're new around here, give us a like, give us a follow on all of the platforms. Helps the channel grow. Just past 1,000 downloads. Big up the listeners. And to the guy who's a biologist in the gym, who I don't know the name of because I'm autistic and I didn't look in your eyes and I didn't ask your name. Big up, because you came up to me and said, how's your face after you dropped that weight on you? You're the guy with the podcast, aren't you? Yes, I am. I am Project Spots with the podcast. So if you want an autograph, just let me know next time you're in the gym, all right? That's fine. Other than that, hope you're well in the world, wherever you are, and we'll speak to you soon.
Amazing. Peace.